Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I do thank you for joining us tonight. I am your host, Saieed. You know, we are the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago. So now, viewers, I want you to log on to your Facebook page. You know, when you're sitting down, you always have your phone on your couch or on the table. So get your phone, go onto your Facebook account, log into your page, go on the search bar, type in Real Talk with Saieed Ali. When you see our page pops up, like the page and share the page, the link at the same time. So this is what I want you to do now, viewers. Share our Facebook page. You can also go onto YouTube, type in TT Real Talk, subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. So you can also share our YouTube link also, viewers. So I want to say a special good night to those of you of the Caribbean, around the globe, in Trinidad and Tobago. Good night to you. COVID-19 rules and regulations are effective in Trinidad and Tobago. It is effective, so please be safe. In saying all this, I do want to encourage you to call me 339-1670 or 238-6716 to make a contribution for our food drive that we are having. So viewers, we also have our laptop and tablet device for children. Make a contribution of 500 or 600 towards our drive, and you can win an all-inclusive trip for two to Tobago in a luxurious hotel for a weekend. This is what I am offering you. In return, you just make a contribution of $500 or $600. That is all you have to do, viewers. Please, there are people that need food, and there are little children that need devices to go online. The government is not supplying everything, and you all know that when I do something, I do it from the goodness of my heart. And I also encourage you, the citizen, in it, so you can partake in the blessings that I am receiving also. So viewers, please make a contribution of $500 or $600 towards our drive for food for children, for single parents, and for a household to have food during this COVID-19 pandemic that we are having in Trinidad and Tobago. So I'm urging you, viewers, give me a call, 339-1670 or 238-6716. Now my office, we are located on Carolina Savannah Road in Shogunas. My office is open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can always come and visit me. So as we start off our news tonight, the opposition joined with the government in Senate today to pass legislations to regulate the use of pepper spray, the Firearm Amendment Bill 2021, piloted by the Attorney General Faraz Al-Rawi. The bill states that a person may only manufacture, produce, import, export, sell, or distribute pepper spray with an import permit from the Commissioner of Police, or have in his possession pepper spray only if he holds a permit. The bill was passed by 22 votes for and none against, and 2 abstain. Well, 2 wasn't there. It would soon be debated in the House of Representatives. So at the end of the day, the bill did not give citizens of Trinidad and Tobago the right to purchase pepper spray and keep it in your possession. You have to apply for a permit, and when you do so in the police station, they could deny you. They could deny you. So just imagine that. All they talk about pepper spray, and they're bringing it into effect, and they're bringing in legislations. It didn't do us any good. Any good. So let me repeat that again. The bill states that person may only manufacture, produce, import, export, or sells and distribute pepper spray with an import permit. And how do you get this? You get it from the Commissioner of Police. So just imagine that. The Attorney General gives female in Trinidad and Tobago the opportunity to have in their possession a device that would save them from being robbed, raped, or kidnapped? No. The bill did not do any such thing like that. So how sad it is that, yes, the bill was passed. It is going to debate in the upper house, and it is not benefiting the citizen. It is not. So did we accomplish anything? No. We did not accomplish anything. Nothing. It's sad to say. It's sad to say, but we're moving on. Call a good night. China ambassador, thank you, have shared images of the 100,000 dose of Sinopharm vaccine gifted to TNT being loaded onto an aircraft for shipment. In a Facebook post today, he wrote, confirmed 100,000 Chinese vaccine have been shipped from Beijing airport to en route to Port of Spain. This vaccine was not purchased. I want to let you understand this. This was a gift. This was not purchased. He thanked all colleagues who collaborated to achieve the most effective delivery of the vaccine. He added that China will remain committed to supporting TNT in its ongoing effort to mitigate the pandemic and restore normalcy to the country. Call a good night. Go right ahead.
The government is sending very, very confusing signals with regard. We have seen, COVID is spiking. I don't know if the figures are correct. My information is much more and it is being suppressed. Now, you are telling people one moment, stay home, you cannot go out. Next minute, you're telling people Tobago is the place to be, Tobago is filled, Tobago is overflowing, and all these kind of things. What is it you are doing about the vaccination? I saw on a headline on a Guyana newspaper that they have enough vaccine for herd immunity. Where are we in all these things? If you look at the history of this COVID transaction, since, from day one, when the opposition tried to bring motion in both houses, it was shown out, it is not a matter of importance. When you had the opposition saying, let us work together, no, you could do it yourself. When the opposition leader is telling them, let us do test and test and test, this is the only way we are going to know, people is invested, you shut that down. Now look at what is happening. Look at what is happening in our country, and there is no clue. The people are being battered into submission. Stay home, yes. People coming by pirogue, boatload of people coming from outside. What is really happening? Are we a nation of jokers? I would like you to touch on this thing because it is affecting each and every one of us life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend, and thank you for your comments. Government has confirmed that Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley is directly following up with the U.S. President Joe Biden on acquiring vaccine for CARICOM and Trinidad and Tobago. This after President Biden announced that his administration will send an additional 20 million COVID-19 vaccine abroad by the end of June. Today in the Senate, Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Dr. Amory Brown stated that high-level meetings continue on the topic of proceeding vaccine from the United States. He added that Prime Minister has been following up with a high-level contacts within the U.S. administration.
It is fully within the public domain that the Honorable Prime Minister and the Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs have been robustly and consistently advocating specifically on the issue at reference. The answer again is yes. The Prime Minister has been following up consistently with high-level contacts within the U.S. administration. The Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs has been following up and supporting consistently with high-level contacts via our mission in Washington, D.C. The ambassador there has been fully mobilized and tasked to follow up specifically on this new vaccine initiative. Yesterday, immediately subsequent to the announcement by President Biden, I met with the charge of the U.S. Embassy here in Port-au-Spain, a direct personal meeting to follow up on the scaling up initiative that President Biden has announced. And again, very targeted advocacy continues.
So now, viewers, an attempt to find out if a specific number of vaccine were requested for CARICOM or Trinidad and Tobago. However, he did not respond. But if you all were talking to Biden, wouldn't you ask for a specific amount of vaccine for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago or CARICOM? Just imagine other countries ask for vaccine without even the CARICOM heads or the CARICOM chairman. They went along. Forget CARICOM. I seen about my country. So tonight on the line, viewers, before I get carried away, we have on the line tonight the president of the Supermarket Association, Mr. Rajiv Dipti. Good night to you, my friend.
Good night, my friend. Good night, Trinidad and Tobago.
Now, two quick questions for you, my friend. Can you give us an update on the Supermarket Association concerning the food drive initiative?
Yes, of course, I can. Let me have a little background before I get into
Okay.
The caseload, as we've seen it over the last month, has been exponential. Today we record 601 cases and 23 unfortunate deaths. We know that the paradigm healthcare system as well as the actual healthcare system is direly overwhelmed, and that there has been a lack of support for our medical frontliners as well as the general staff at Cuba, Cora, Augusta Sloan, Arima, and at the Cuba-centric sites in the country. So what we have done, Cyrus, is with the assistance of our sponsors, we've been able to deliver and commit to 100 meals a day for the next minimum of 4 weeks. We're looking to expand that program across the quarter. It started on Monday, 100 meals of one day, today, and we will continue every day of the week for the next month. And it has been extremely well received by the staff. They are very grateful. They have a lot of gratitude for what we're doing. And we remember that these people are our last line of defense. If you get sick right now, you can't get an airlift out of Trinidad and Tobago. You are going to end up in Cuba or Cora or one of the internment sites for COVID-affected individuals. So we really have to take care of our doctors. We're hearing stories of people dying, and it's including frontline in the healthcare system. So we feel a very strong obligation to take care of them.
Now, my friend, given the curfew and the state of emergency that we have in Trinidad presently, are there any changes to the opening and closing hours of supermarket?
The curfew, people ask me how we've been affected by the curfew. The most obvious effect that it will have is on closing time. Now, I've already seen many of my members post the hours of operation, I know that Matthew Stewart has taken a decision to close their doors by 6:30 p.m. to allow to the staff home on time. Remember, through transportation is at 50% capacity, as well as the fact that at that hour, probably there's not a lot going on in the towns and communities. So you may see some of the taxi services already being, going home for the day. So you're going to see a lot of the members closing their doors by no later than 7 p.m. This has been something that consistently across the board. The latest I've seen any store remain open until 7:30 p.m. But prior to the state of emergency and the curfew, it's not as if restaurants were open. It's not as though entertainment was allowed to take place. So many of us were already inside by that time. So from a lifestyle perspective, we aren't really affected. So perhaps the outcome that they're seeing for with the achievement of objectives that we have is really to curb the movement of persons who are deemed multinational, who are deemed persons of interest, persons who are, as the phrase is, they're still catching on popular, dumping situation. Yeah.
So, my friend, I do want to thank you for joining us tonight. And this is just to give the citizens an update of what is taking place in the supermarkets and the Supermarket Association on decision making concerning COVID-19 regulations and the SOE in Trinidad and Tobago. So, my friend, I do thank you so much for sharing that information with us.
Thank you, Saieed, and I wish you all the best for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago tonight.
Thank you again. So, viewers, you all heard it, the supermarkets are closing early. So whatever it is you have to get, remember, follow the regulations. There's an SOE in place from 9 to 5, Sunday to Sunday, until they get a hold of the numbers to go down, or until the Prime Minister says the SOE is over. So please be safe. Now, we're moving on to the final decisions on the SEA. An announcement to the conduct of the secondary entrance assessment, that is the SEA examination, will be made by the end of this week. Responding to an urgent question in the Senate today, Leader of Government Business Clarence Rambarat indicated that the government priority at this time is to ensure that TNT COVID-19 numbers are decreased. He added that the success of regulations under the SOE will impact the decision in relation to the SEA, which is scheduled for June 10th.
Madam President, at this time, the government's #1 priority is keeping the citizens of this country safe. The government has put strict and robust measures in place to reduce the COVID numbers, and the success of these measures over the next few days will greatly impact the decision on what would happen in relation to the SEA, which is scheduled for June 10th.
Rambarat assured that the Ministry of Education, along with the Ministry of Health, is making all possible preparations to ensure that safe conduct of the placement exam. He made it clear that having the SEA exam is not more important than health of the population.
Madam President, the government recognizes that the exam is important, and all possible preparations are being made by the Ministry of Education and together with the Ministry of Health and all the other ministries involved for the safe implementation of the SEA. But Madam President, having the SEA exam is not more important than the health of the population, and government will be guided by the fact that the health of the population will not be sacrificed for the purpose of having the exam.
Now, viewers, he further stated that based on the numbers, during this week, a final decision will be made and communicated to the public at the end of this week.
Madam President, based on the numbers and what transpires this week, a final decision would be made and communicated to the public at the end of this week. Thank you.
Caller, good night.
Good night, Said.
Go right ahead, my friend.
side, the population have to understand this is not about black, white, yellow. The population have to come together and work together. This government have done nothing for us, and they bring in the Sinopharm or this AstraZeneca or whatever the case may be. Now, how safe these things are, right? Now, in Canada, they already started to vaccinate children that is over the 12 years of age on Pfizer, and by June 5th, the Premier want to actually vaccinate most of Toronto by June 5th. What's going to happen to Trinidad? Everywhere is opening up. All the small islands and the small countries opening up and trying to survive. We are not doing nothing over here.
Thank you, my friend. You see, when you start late, you will finish late. You cannot start late and finish first. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. And then again, according to the House Speaker, COVID-19 not important. The matter not important. And on top of that now, our Prime Minister encouraged Trinidadians to come to Tobago. So what would you get? What would you get when 1 million people congregated for the Easter weekend? Let's just say 300,000 or 400,000 was home safe. Now every day we are seeing the deaths climbing, it fluctuating, it going up and coming down. We've seen cases going up, it coming down, and it goes up again. So it fluctuating. It fluctuating. So the 300,000 plus people that was home, they're safe. But what about those that travel to and from and congregated with one another? What would you get? What would you get? Attorney General Saieed Ali has warned that the current regulations governing the state of emergency would be stricter as it was now imposed to deal with crime, but with an infectious disease also. Arawi stated that the PM has already explained that in this pandemic, measures are applied depending upon the population reaction to the regulations. When you invite people to Tobago, you didn't study about the pandemic, you didn't study about the regulation, you didn't study about what the people think, you didn't study that COVID-19 would spread, you didn't study about the parallel health system, you didn't study about nobody. Nobody you wasn't studying about. All you were studying is that, oh gosh, this Easter, it wouldn't be the ferry. So I am telling you all, you can come to Tobago, enjoy yourself, and go back home whenever you want. But conduct yourself. You literally told people in a pandemic to come across conspiracy to spread a virus. So since the Attorney General represents Trinidad and Tobago in the making laws and the upholding the laws, how come? Alright, listen to this now. I will pause at how come. When you hear you have two people planning to rob and two people planning to kill, one person will shoot the gun and kill an individual, the next person will get charged for conspiracy. For conspiracy. Now we have the head of CARICOM, the head of the security, my mistake, the chairman of CARICOM, we have the head of the Security Council for Trinidad and Tobago, we have the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, encouraging people to come to Tobago in a pandemic. How do you call that, Attorney General? How do you call that? You know we are in a pandemic. You know we have an infectious disease that is spreading. But we have the leader of the PNM administration encouraging us to come across in Tobago while the pandemic is going on. Come and have a nice time. The beaches are open. Don't worry about the pandemic. Or let us come and have a nice time. So how do you call that Attorney General? Huh? Is there any lawyers that are watching and could call in and give us advice? The police will charge you for conspiracy to murder. You won't pull the trigger, you know. You're planning. You're with the individual. He pulled the trigger. You get conspiracy. So is there any lawyer that is looking at us could call in and say what the Prime Minister did during a pandemic? They don't have to give your name. Just say, Saeed, I am an attorney in law, and so and so and so was the case. That's all you have to say. That is all you have to say. The Attorney General, he stated, therefore, it is open to us stricter measures to be applied.
The fact is that the regulations were issued yesterday. They are in proper stage and in effect. And these regulations, I would like to remind, may be issued from time to time. The Prime Minister has already indicated to the population that in this pandemic, measures are applied depending upon the population's reaction to the regulations. And obviously the CMO and his team and the Minister of Health advise on what steps are required in light of the pandemic. Therefore, it is open for stricter measures to be applied.
Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk, my friend.
I'm calling from Freeport.
Welcome.
Right? All the CARICOM countries in the Caribbean, right? They fall under what Raul is the chairman, right? But all of them is against him, right? Even the United States, all over the world, the people against him because he's not trustworthy. They went, I think somebody from St. Kitts wrote a letter to Biden to send us thing, right? Nobody in the CARICOM trusts him. Nobody trusts Rowley and the government. Not even across the world, they don't trust him. He went all over the world to get the vaccine. And like everybody blanking him because he's spending the money that he said he had in September. He's a thief. Thank you.
My friend, but I cannot say if he's a thief or not. I cannot say that. Al-Rawi further cautioned that the regulations also permit the TTPS and the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force to engage in causing compliance in any public or private place.
Permit me to address now the issue of the rights of citizens under a state of emergency. The keen observer will note in the regulations that these regulations are not of the 1990 or 2011 type of state of emergency structures. These regulations are very heavily focused on public health issues and the management of those circumstances. I wish to caution that the regulations do permit the Trinidad and Tobago Police and the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force within the parameters of law to engage in causing compliance in any place. That is both in public and in private.
Now, viewers, he sought to clarify the SOE regulations and urged the population to stop looking for loopholes. You know, we Trinidadians like to find a loophole in everything. Your life don't matter, you know. As long as I run down the road and run back, we good to go. You run down the road, you come in contact with COVID-19, you run back up the road and you spread it with your family. What we going to do? That's not my fault, that's yours. Al-Rawi stated that this is not an opportunity for smart manism or smart womanism, where people try to give reasons why the law does not apply to them.
Regulation 4 says specifically, subject to the exemptions, no person shall be outside of their private dwelling, including a motor vehicle, ship, or vessel during the hours of the curfew. Dwelling includes your precincts of your property. The reason that we use private dwelling is that a dwelling in Trinidad and Tobago can be anything from a shack to a mansion to the use of a container, people who live in vehicles, for instance, etc. So therefore the concept of a dwelling is there. The issue of what Jamaica calls your yard, because if you look at the Jamaica regulations, you'll see that they said including the yard, and we all know the term yardie, etc. The yard is a interesting concept. In Trinidad and Tobago, your private property is often defined by your boundaries and your positions. The reason that we didn't go into the full extent of the precincts of the property, etc., is that that is a matter for the Trinidad and Tobago police, which can easily be interpreted. This is not an opportunity for smartmanism or smart womanism, where people come into the dance and basically try to give you all of the technical reasons why the law does not apply to you.
So now, viewers, he added that under the SOE, the TNT Defense Force can be called by the Commissioner of Police to provide assistance, and very specifically, they have, under the law, the power of the police. And Rawi said that the public was obligated to explain the reason for being out.
Police service and the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force will be out and about during the state of emergency. They both carry police powers. The obligation to explain your circumstances, why you are outside during daylight hours, and also nighttime hours where a curfew applies, is upon every citizen of this country, and the Trinidad and Tobago Police and the Army can stop you, ask you questions, and ensure that they are satisfied that you are acting within the regulations.
So now, viewers, the reason why we had this amount of clip with the Attorney General is that I want you to understand how serious it is. I want you to understand that if it was not important to me and to you, we would have just played one clip with the Attorney General. But we want you to understand the seriousness with the SOE during the day and the night. So please, if you do not want to be charged 20,000 or 50,000 or 250,000, please stay inside. Please stay inside. But if you tell them, well, here we're going on. We're going by Saieed Ali. We're going to make a contribution to the food drive he's keeping. It's a logic explanation. We're going to make a contribution to our food drive. The officers will understand, well, it's food you're making a donation for. That is okay. But you can't tell me, well, officer, you know, I'll not go down by my girlfriend, and, where you have phone for? Not to call? Where you have WhatsApp video chat for? Not this issue? Like the good friend, Minister of Health, going down to your girlfriend's house is not essential. Call her good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Go right ahead.
I'm calling to voice out the concern about an incident that happened today, right? I provided your office, your studio there with some documents, right? I'm a part-time farmer, right? I went to buy chemicals today.
Right.
Within a month ago, I buy a gallon of chemical, and the chemical was $140 size. I went today, the same chemical, the same amount, everything is $190, $50. It's going to buy on the side.
In the space of a month?
In the space of a month. Now here it is, I have a next, remember last week I called and gave you a challenge? I have a challenge here tonight. Right? I want you to see if you could get the information from the Trade and Industry Minister, Paula Gopi School, as to who is the manufacturer who she gives the waiver on duty and taxes on the raw materials to produce for the country Because as far as I am seeing side, every time I am going to the supermarket, nothing is going down. We are not getting any price reduction on anything.
Correct.
Everything is only going up. And the Supermarket Association President, Rajiv Desi, he needs to come and tell us if it is any manufacturers giving any supermarket any reduction in any prices or anything like that. Because the trade minister is always saying that she's giving waivers for so and so.
Yes.
So, and have a list of people, and she will never come out into the public domain and give us the list of manufacturers. But every time we go to the grocery side, everything only going up.
Correct,
and
correct.
And the next thing, right, I don't know if you do any research on this Sinopharm vaccine, right? Do you know that that vaccine has 73 side effect states?
That is why, caller, the government do not want the public to know how much they paid for it. That's why they signed a non-disclosure.
Sai, listen, they even rate that vaccine as the worst vaccine in the world, And I want the Alton to understand something. When you see someone on a press conference and you talk about non-disclosure agreements and things, friends, that is we money is spending there, so we need you to account for we money. We don't want you to come and tell me non-disclosure agreement you're making it, because that is not your money. And the money that you giving citizens and that is not all your. That is our money. I want you to understand that first and foremost. Thanks, guys. Enjoy your night.
You too, my friend. So you see, viewers, coming to your money and the government spending, they have to give accountability. They have to. And some of you are not understanding that. You're not understanding that. I made it very clear on a previous show. It's our taxpaying money they're spending to provide something for us. They are not doing us any favor. They are not. They wanted the citizens to vote them into power, to work for us. Are they working for us? No. You're signing a non-disclosure where our tax-paying dollars are being spent. Why is that? Where is the procurement? All of you side out yesterday. That is why I could stand here on my platform and direct questions to them. You see, I will tell you something. This is one show. This is one show nobody can buy out, you know. This is one show nobody can buy out. Because you cannot come to me and say, Said, I'm giving you 10,000 to run an ad. Run an ad with my company now. I want to start a job with Terrence Dial saying, you call man, you say, you know, Said, a partner and Terrence is friend, you know. Watch what you're saying about Terrence now. Come to my office tomorrow, nah? Me and you we have sit down and have a little discussion. When you come to my office, I will take your 10,000 and I will pelt it back on your chest and tell you the faster you get it from there and the faster you exit my front door, it will be much better for me and the atmosphere around me. Caller, good night.
Hi, good night, Said.
Go right ahead.
I just want to say I support that caller just now call you this, talking about the chemicals, because I'm a farmer myself.
All right.
Every time you go to the agricultural shop, prices going up, and we have subsidies.
Yes.
So
yes.
what really going on in this place?
Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. Moving along, viewers, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Roshan Parashram previously stated that at the beginning of March, he noticed COVID-19 figures were increasing and that while persons thought that the figures were low, he believed that it was enough to cause a snowball effect. Yesterday, Parashram was able to clarify who opposed his medical views. He stated that there was an increase in case beginning in early March when there was a 7-day rolling average of 3. He added that persons looked at it as a small increase and that 15 cases per day was not something alarming.
We would have seen a gradual increase in number of cases beginning in early March when we would have had a rolling daily 7-day average of about 3. I think that quickly went up from 3 to 10 and then of course 10 to 15 And we looked at it as a small increase nationwide. Yeah, people said, 15 cases a day is not something alarming. And really looking at it from an epidemiological perspective, and what Dr. Hines has shown in his graphs is the way it doubles. So 10 will quickly go to 100.
Now, viewers, Dr. Parashram added that concerns were voiced to the population to have their behavior that they would have had from November to March 2021 to get people back on track.
We voiced that concern to the population in general to try to start the beginnings of people having a behavior that they would have had for the best part of November to March of 2021, November 2022, to really try to get persons back on track and have that type of behavior to get those figures of 10 or 15 a day back down to 3 or 4, which would have put us in a good position. So really that was what I was alluding to at that point in time. Again, we put public health measures in place. But what happens in terms of this particular epidemic is when you have movement of people, you have congregation, you don't see the effect of that for 2 to 3 weeks after the event has already occurred.
So viewers, like he said, he was seeing the numbers before. And like they did in every press conference, came out and tell you, social distance, sanitize, those who have to stay home, those who have to come out, come out. Caller, good night.
Yeah, good night, Saeed.
Right ahead.
Yes, Saeed, but here now, boy, the COVID-19, how you hating the street people, boy? You only hating ordinary people, them like they had a remedy for the COVID, or?
Hey, caller, you know what was so alarming to me?
Yeah.
If you have a slight comorbidities,
yeah,
a little heart, a little problem breathing, and the COVID-19 hit you, according to medical report, they had medical conditions. So they die. They die. You're dead like
because
a fly.
We have plenty of the vaccine in America and China ban.
So here it is. Our Prime Minister got COVID, tested positive for 2 or 3 sessions. And with all the bypass and the triple bypass and the comorbidities he had, he survived. That was alarming. Thank you, my friend.
Okay.
But nevertheless, I do thank God. I am not bad talking him. I'm just looking at how the medical status runs. But I thank God, nevertheless, he's okay. And he's up and functioning, doing the rightful thing as governing Trinidad and Tobago thus far. But you need to push a little more. You need to push a little more. So viewers, 1 of 6 persons who were held on the first night of the curfew have been charged with driving under the influence. Antonio, 25 of Golconda, in San Fernando, appeared before magistrate Deona Rinsing. The 25-year-old man was charged with driving under the influence, driving dangerously, and breaching curfew hours. He was fined a total of $6,000 for all 3 fines and also disqualified from driving. Deona Rinsing was held Antonio was held at about 10:10 p.m. on Sunday night. The 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew came into effect that night. Officers were on mobile patrol along SS Erin Road in Davie when they saw a car traveling at high speed and swerving. The officers intercepted the car, and upon questioning Antonio, they detected the smell of alcohol. Now, this is according to the officers. As a result, he was administered a breathalyzer test, which gave the reading of 107 microgram. The legal limit is 35 microgram. First night, first person. 19 persons were arrested on the second day of the state of emergency, the SOE. According to statistics from TTPS, 7 were arrested in Tobago Division, 6 in the Northern Division, 3 in the Western Division, and 1 each in Central, Northeastern, and Port of Spain, 1 each. In addition to some, 732 people were arrested from 9 police divisions for breach of the public health regulations. The TTPS reports that on every first night of the current SOE, 6 people were held on both sides of the Twin Island for breaching the 9 to 5 curfew. So Trinidad and Tobago, are we doing this ourselves, or are we playing clown and clumsy and want to play prime minister and come out your house after 9 p.m.? So if you're slapped with a $250,000 fine, who did it? Who did it? Me? No, not me. The commissioner? Not the commissioner. You did it upon yourself. Now, according to the commissioner, if you come out your house and you give a reasonable explanation that satisfies the police officer, in some cases for medical results, pregnancy or going to the hospital, or in the case of almost die or death, you have an exemption. The police will go with you. The commissioner came out and tell everybody that if you're in that medical aspect, the police will accompany you to the hospital or the medical facilities. But don't come out and tell them, well, you know, I had to go to my girlfriend and I'm going to get 2 pounds of dal by the neighbor. Oh, God, you're looking for a $250 fine. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead, my dear.
What I would like to know, for you all to do is the officers to do some roadblocks in the Eastern Division.
Eastern Division?
That's Mayor area. What happened is a lot of outsiders in beach houses still. Even though the beaches closed, they're coming into pool area, houses with pools and stuff. And they need to do a lot of roadblocks and close on some of these beach houses.
So you need some roadblocks in the Mayaro area?
Yes. And find out what the outsiders live in Mayaro in the summertime and one game beach houses still.
Oh, okay. In beach houses. Thank you, my dear.
Thank you.
So Mayaro police officers, there's a complaint that people are outside and people are in beach houses. So the inspector and the sergeants and the corporal in the Mayaro police station, could you all patrol the streets a little more? That is what the caller is saying. They want to see more patrols, they want to see more roadblocks. And also, I believe that will be the Sandy Granny police officers. You could also conduct roadblocks on the Mayaro Road also. So if you guys, let me tell you something, I mean, as much as I just come here every single night, Monday to Friday, yes, I do come and we oppose the opposition, we oppose the PRM administration. I do that because we want things done. I would oppose the health minister, I would oppose Clarence, I would oppose the prime minister, we would oppose Amy Brown to get the job done. Not only your way, but do it other ways. Look for other ways. Look at pepper spray. Up to now, I haven't heard one meeting about the pepper spray when they consulted the public. I didn't even know if the public was consulted, because we heard nothing of it. Did you hear anything about it? No. I thought when the Attorney General bring the legislations, it would give the female an opportunity to have a device to defend themselves. Not for import and export and produce and manufacture. No. We don't need that. We need a device to defend ourselves from rape and robbery. I thought we would have really gotten it. But nevertheless, the opposition now supported in the manufacturing and the produce and the import and the exports. They supported it. So did Kamala Prasad Bisasa. Did Jayanti Lakshmidal? Did they question the government proper? Did they throw out solutions for the government to look at it as females being targeted of rape and murder? The reason why I call these two females is because their presence is high. They are members of the opposition. They are females. That is why I call these two of them. They supported the legislation to pass for manufacturers, producers, import and export to sell or distribute pepper spray with an import permit. Did you ask the Attorney General to make it easy so the females in Trinidad and Tobago could have a device to defend themselves if they come under attack of rape or abuse in the public domain? Did they? No. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. What they did, they support them and they pass the bill, 22 votes, none against, 2 abstention. Did that benefit the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? I'm asking the females that. So I wonder if Kamala Prasad Bisasa would come out and tell the citizens now, the female citizens, when she was advocating for the legislation to pass. That one how we're going so far, correct? I wonder now if being an attorney, a female attorney, on the UNC side now, advocating for women. We want the pepper spray legislation. Did you tell the Attorney General to make it easy that the females could walk into a sports store or anywhere that sell the pepper spray to buy it without getting a permit, so the females in Trinidad would not have to walk with a penknife or a knife that what the police would charge them for an illegal weapon? Did they ask the Attorney General to make it easy for the females in Trinidad and Tobago to purchase pepper spray to defend ourselves? Kamala? Did you make it easy? I was the oldest person. I am the oldest person in a public domain on a show that is shown on Synergy Television. Ask the Attorney General to remove the permit so females could go and purchase pepper spray as a device to defend themselves. Remember when they had the murder of Andrea Barrett? A couple weeks after that, a PH driver took someone up to the Arima Old Road. The woman had a penknife. She had a penknife. And that penknife saved her life. When she made a report, I allegedly believe that the officer wanted to charge her for having a penknife in her possession. Illegal weapon. So asking the two female, what they support? What did you support? You support to pass the legislation for manufacturers, producers, import, export. Waste of time. A lot waste of time. So viewers, well, it's so heated tonight. I have so much to tell all you. But we have come to the end of our show tonight. Nevertheless, I'm asking you all to make a contribution of $500 or $600 to Real Talk so that we could put food on the homes of single mother. We could buy a device for a student to go online. Please make a contribution. I'm asking you all this. So until we meet again, viewers, be safe, enjoy the night, stay home if you have to stay home. If you have to go to work, be safe on your journey. You have family home that is expecting you COVID-free. So until we meet again, viewers, be safe, enjoy the night. Good night.